Okay, everybody, and welcome to another edition of our Social Marketing Animals. And today we are going to be covering Pinterest, which has had a lot of activity in the recent days in the social marketing arena, just because how quickly it has come onto the scene. So, what we want to do today is we want to take you through why you should be using Pinterest, what it is, who's on it, some vocabulary, how you get started by setting up your accounts, how you can have multiple pages on here, how you pin things, some ideas of things that you can pin, some great practices. And then at the very end, we're going to go over very quickly some board ideas. But the following class, this is going to be a two-part series. The following class is going to go in depth into board ideas, finding your target market, and setting up your brand. So we're just kind of laying a foundation today on what we're going to be doing. So why Pinterest? Number one, it is the fastest site to reach 10 million users in tech history. So it's exciting. It's something people want. They see value in it. And so hence it has grown rapidly. To date, there's 12 plus million users on it, and it's growing exponentially. And people can add a call to action onto their pins. And so when you do that, it increases your engagement on there by 80%. And daily Pinterest users have increased by more than 145% since just the beginning of this year. So you can see how fast it's growing. And as of January, American users, now there's some stats out there for all over the world, but American users spent 97, an hour and a half minutes on Pinterest. So I
That's
think that's
amazing.
fascinating, don't you, Lauren?
That's amazing.
And then also, more than a fifth of Facebook users are connected on Pinterest, which is about 2 million users from Facebook. So it is well connected, well used, well liked, and very exciting. And a lot of people are seeing a lot of value in it. So
All of that is so interesting, but I think everyone wants to know what is Pinterest?
well, Pinterest is, think of this. When we were growing up, we had these little corky boards and these little bulletin boards that you would put up on your wall. And on that, you would put a list of your favorite things. So you would put, concerts that you had been to or concerts you wanted to attend. You would put up a pair of, shoes or your favorite baseball glove or something like that that you wanted to buy. You would put up, your grocery list and just favorite things. And that's what Pinterest allows you to do, but it's virtually on the internet and on the computer. So as you come across things that you love on the internet, you pin it to your board and there it is for all time instead of having all those papers getting old on your wall.
And accidentally spilling coffee on
There
it,
you
or your
go.
kids pulling them down.
So what does Pinterest allow you to do?
It allows you to share products, pictures, videos. You can link them back to the site where they were found. So even your sites and your blogs, it allows for community interaction and interaction through other social sites. And users are actually encouraged to share, or as Pinterest would say, repin others' users' pins.
Because on some sites they kind of want to keep you there. They don't want you to interact and do things. They want to have it like a private community.
Right.
Here they're like share, 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 repin, hey, go out and tell the world about it. They're actually encouraging you to do it instead of saying hush hush, don't do that.
Right.
Which is very exciting. So let's go over a few things. We're going to kind of zip through these. These are some big name companies that are actually using Pinterest right now, and they're having great results on it. We've got about 15 slides here of big name companies who are using that. And what we're going to do in the next class in part 2 that we talked about is we're going to take each of these companies. We're going to go through the name that they put on here, what they put as their about me section, some of the um, boards that they're pinning to and what they created for themes, how many followers they have, what they did right, what they could improve on. So that's what we're going to do in our next class. But let's go through who's on here right now. The first one is Etsy. It's a place to buy and sell handmade or vintage items and the arts and supplies that you need for making those. They have, as of now, we just did this PowerPoint a few days ago, but when I checked this morning, 104,000 followers.
That is remarkable.
It is. It is. Who else is on here? American Eagle. I mean, who doesn't like to shop at American Eagle? They have about 25,000 followers.
And you know, you can tell that they're just getting started. I'm sure that they will have a lot more to come.
Right. And same, a lot of these companies are now just seeing the value. So as we go through here, they may not have all that many followers, but you can see they're seeing the value in here. So they're getting their pages up here. So the next couple slides are going to show you this is not just for women, it's for men too. So we got car companies coming on here, tool companies coming on here. We got Craftsman Tools on here. GE, you know, I love one of their slides here. One of their little themes is badass machines. So who wants to see something like that? Humongous machines that GE makes. So this is not just for women, it's for men too. But back to women or men as well, it's HGTV, which is all do-it-yourself projects. So, I mean, they've got 84,000 followers. Kate Spade, I mean, she's a humongous designer in New York, and she does clothing, she does household goods, she does things for traveling. She's got all kinds of different products out there. 61,000 followers.
That is insane.
Yes. Now, this is Nordstrom. And one of the reasons I took a picture of their slide was they have quite a few followers. I think it was somewhere around 4,000. I'm not sure. But if you look down here in the very bottom right-hand side here, you'll see one of their categories is called fashion cats.
Adorable.
And what they did is they have all of their followers pinning on there whenever their cat lays next to their Nordstrom bag or climbs inside their Nordstrom bag or does something, you know, Nordstrom related. And so it's really, really cool.
And it's a great way for interaction. That's a great example for, you know, interacting.
Yeah, having a board that's not all about your product, sell, 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 but it still has to do with your product because who doesn't want to see their little fluffy up in fame and in the headlights?
Exactly.
Or in the limelight.
Exactly.
Another one is Real Simple Magazine. So they are huge in the magazine arena and they have 104,000 followers. Pretty amazing. Starbucks is on here. Right now they've got about 8,500. About a month ago I was on here. They hadn't even started yet. They had reserved their page, but they hadn't started. So they are growing very, very quickly.
With only 7 boards. That's it. Just 7 boards compared to the rest where you see, you know, they have a few more boards, but that just goes to show you can get that many followers with, you know, fewer boards than what other companies had.
Victoria's Secret, they see the need, 11,000 followers with Victoria's Secrets. And again, they don't have 1,000 boards. They've got 9.
Exactly.
Yes. Weight Watchers, 4,200 followers. Whole Foods, the shopping giant, they've got 37,000. We're really going to go in depth a little bit on Whole Foods next time too, you know, as to what they're covering in there. And Mashable, who doesn't use Mashable to get a lot of their stats from and their news from and their information off of for numbers? So let's go over a little bit of the vocabulary so that everyone understands what we're saying when we say a few of the words as we go through this. So first, let's start off with pins. A pin is an actual photo or a graphic or a video that has been taken off of the internet or uploaded by the user, and that's their own personal pin somehow.
A pin board is pretty much just a collection of the pins that you have organized by a theme. So, you know, cars, you have a car's pin board, and your pins are the car pins inside and on top of the pin board. It's just an organization of different themes that you have in your Pinterest account.
And Pinterest helps you get started with it, don't they?
Exactly. Right when you start your account, it will actually ask you to create your boards right away, and it will give you a few examples. You can either take them or you can change them and make them your own and create your own pin boards.
Perfect. And then there's something else called a bookmark. And this is a little piece of coding, and we're going to show you how to get this coding that you can add up into your browser bar at the top of your page where you type in URLs. You add this up there, and then every time you're on the internet and you see something you really like, all you have to click on is this little pin it button or icon, and it will pin it automatically back to your pin board.
Correct.
That's easy, isn't it?
It's amazing. And just anything you come across, you may not even be in the Pinterest mood or anything like that, but you may come across a blog and see an article and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to pin this. And it's right there on your browser. Click pin and it adds it right there. Another word is repins, which is adding other pinners' pins to your pin boards. It's
That's
like
a lot of P's.
I know. Pins. And it's like sharing on Facebook or kind of like a retweet. It's just sharing someone else's pin or saving it for yourself. You know, you see a bunch of pins on there and you just kind of want to put it in your own board so you can, save it for later and, go back to it when you want to.
Perfect. Now we're going to be talking a little bit about SEO. And for those of you who don't know the abbreviations of SEO, it stands for search engine optimization. Pinterest is huge. It's at the top of a lot of times when you do some Google searching, if there's a picture for it, it comes up at the top of the searches. So Google has really picked up on the Pinterest bandwagon. And as you're pinning things and your images, and if they come off of your website and a link is attached to that and people start repinning that, your link can be repinned hundreds of times, thousands of times, and those all create backlinks, which is really going to help out with your SEO.
Another vocabulary word would be followers, and those are just people who are following your pins and your pin boards. They're interested in the things that you have, and they're following you along your Pinterest journey.
Now, someone's asking right here, when they get a follower, do they follow your whole entire account, your whole membership, your whole board, or can they just follow one of those little theme or categories that you have?
They don't have to follow your whole board. They can choose an individual board that they want to follow. They do not have to follow your entire Pinterest account and all the boards that you have on there. So you can choose, when you're following somebody, you don't have to follow their whole account. You can just follow one of their boards.
Great, which leads us right into a following, which is me going out and finding people that I like, who have similar interests to me, who are my friends, who have products that I like, who share a common goal with me, anything like that, I can follow them. But again, I don't have to share everything that they are offering. I can just say, I like this, what they've said, and I like this one. I don't want to know about their kid's birthday party. I just want to know about this part of it.
Right.
And I can follow that. Perfect.
Next word is share. When you're finished pinning, you can share what you just pinned on Facebook or Twitter. So it's great, again, interaction for other social sites. You can share it to those other sites that you have.
So it automatically posts to Facebook for you.
You will have to select whether you want it to post to Facebook or not. So whenever the pin pops up, there's a little Facebook or Twitter box there, and you can uncheck it or check it.
Okay. All right, and likes, this is the same as like the Facebook like button. It shows that you really like something, but it's not going to make a post out of it. It's just going to be, hey, I like this.
Right. And then comment, just like Facebook, how you can comment on someone's post. You can comment on a pin, hey, I like that. This is really cool. Again, it's just a comment.
Now, we got a couple people saying, hey, they really like this and they think it's interesting. And oh my gosh, it sounds great, especially with how fast it's growing, but they're not quite ready because maybe they're working on another project right now. So what can they do if they're not quite ready to start today?
You can reserve your brand, at least sign up, get the name of your Pinterest account saved in there, and go ahead and connect it to the website or your blog that you have, and your Facebook or your Twitter account. And just kind of sit back and watch what others are doing, see what they're doing. And that way, when you're ready, you'll know what the people watching your Pinterest account, what they're interested in learning about and seeing.
Perfect. Yeah. And, I love this too, because, there was a lot of times where you could get your personal name on Facebook and people went in to get it and it was already taken.
Right.
So there'd be nothing worse than you going in here and saying, oh, my brand name's taken already, and not being able to have access to that. So go ahead and get your brand name, even if you're not going to do anything with it right now.
Yep. Okay? Doesn't mean you have to start pinning. Just get it and lock it in.
Perfect. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can set up your Pinterest account. Let's go through both of those ways, okay?
The first way is to request an invite from Pinterest. It may not be right away before you get your invite, but
and why would that be? Do they have a waiting list sometimes?
They have a waiting list. Everybody's waiting to get on, and you just wait for your invitation.
So when you do that,
you put your email address in and you click request an invitation.
And then you're going to get an email.
You'll get an email. You click on the link in the email that they gave you, and it will take you to the next area so you can finish creating your account.
Right. So congratulations, you're all signed up, and then you can
sign up with
started
Facebook
signing.
Or with Twitter. So you do have to have one of those to get started with your account. Facebook or Twitter, it doesn't matter which one. We chose to do Facebook.
All right. So either way, what Pinterest is going to do is it's going to walk you through step by step.
Correct.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I would rather use Twitter to sign up and we're showing you how to use Facebook. Pinterest itself will walk you through a step-by-step way. Okay, so
Correct.
that's with the Pinterest. Now, the second way that you can sign up with Pinterest is how?
Is to be invited by a friend, and in return, you can invite friends as well, and you pretty much get your invite right away.
All right, so if a friend is on here and you want to be invited, just tell them to go to their name, hit their drop down. It says invite friends. They put your email address in, they send it in, and you get an email immediately.
Correct.
So if you're on today's class and you don't have an invite, feel free to write to us and we will set you up. So if you want your invite, write to Lauren, LAUREN, at themarketinganimals.com, and we'll send you an invite to get signed up onto Pinterest, okay?
Yep.
So either way, we've got an invite from Pinterest or a friend has invited us to it. We're ready to go. So we're using Facebook to sign ours up. So you're going to have to, when you go to Facebook, download this app on here.
Right. You have to add the app to your Facebook, and this can always be turned off, but you're definitely going to want to just add it to Facebook right away. And when you add it to Facebook, it'll take you and direct you to create your username, your email, put your email address in, and create your password.
All right, so when you're setting up this account, here's a number one key point. If you learn anything from right now, is creating this username. This username is what people are going to see on the internet. Is that correct?
Yes, they will see the username. And when you comment on other pins, they will see the username.
So if you're branding yourself, you're going to want to come up with a cool name, okay?
Correct.
That's here, that you're going to be wanting to brand for the rest of your life.
Right.
Okay. And then you're going to put your email in and your password, and then you hit create account.
Correct.
Okay. Once that's done, and now we're going through the part where Pinterest just walks you through it. So the next page is going to be
when you create your login and password, you're asked to pick topics or interests. Here you want to click what would best represent your business. That way other people can follow these certain topics. So architecture, art, cars, motorcycles, there's a couple more on there, and you can choose as many as you want. Just choose what best represents your business for your Pinterest account.
So say you were a gym owner. You would come in here and you would probably click fitness. You might hit hair and beauty because that's something to do with body and body image. There's one on the outdoors. You could probably pick that. So you would be food and drink. Those would all be involved in that as well. So anything to do with that, you would start saying, hey, oh, that might fit into my niche. That might fit into my industry. And so you can kind of tell Pinterest, and it's very, very intuitive for this is what my business is about, and this is my ideal client, and this is who I'm looking for. And what they will do in return for you
is create people for you to follow based on those topics. You don't have to follow them. It does give you an option to unfollow them, but so your board's not empty, it will suggest people for you to follow.
Actually, it's not even suggesting. They're making you follow somebody, okay? Right. So you're following somebody on here, but you can come right over here and say, no, that's not really what I had in mind. I want to unfollow them. Take it right off your board.
Right.
Okay.
Then it's just going to take you to create your first pin boards. Here it does put the pin boards in here for you. You can change them, you can add. You don't have to use favorite places and spaces or books worth reading or my style or for the home. Those are just ones that are automatically created for you, but those can be changed. So again, you're just going to be creating your board. So again, you don't start off with a blank space. And you'll click create. After that, it's going to direct you to add the bookmark to your browser. And this is what's going to allow you to pin from other sites when you find something interesting.
So this is right in the walkthrough through Pinterest. You're going to click that right there where it says pin it. And depending on what browser you're in, the top one is what it looks like if you're in Safari. So it's just going to have that little red box around there. It just says pin it. There's no icon. It just says pin it. If you go down to the bottom, that's Google Chrome. And Google Chrome actually puts a pretty little picture icon in there for you. Okay, so it doesn't matter what browser you're in.
All does the same thing.
Right. You just click that pin it, and it's going to add it to whatever browser you're in.
Right.
Now, this is really key. This is very important. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of making sure that your account does exactly what you're looking to do for you. Because if this is not set up right, you might as well not do it, kind of.
Right.
Okay. So your email's already going to be in there because this is what you set it up with. Okay. You can change your password. You can change the things that you want. Now we're going to go in there and we're going to say, what is my name of my company. If you're branding yourself as a person, you would put yourself as a person in here, first name, last name, just like Kate Spade. Okay. She branded her name, and that is her brand all over the world. So she put Kate Spade in here. Okay. But Real Simple Magazine put the words real in the first name and simple in the last name. Okay. So you have to, it's going to be individual for all of you guys. You need to think about what your branding is and what your name you want to be, because that's what's going to show up when you're filling this out. And I have an example of that as we go on. And then now, is this username right here going to be filled in with the username we made before for signing in, or is this the username that we're talking about that everybody sees?
This is the username you made when you created it, when you first were directed to create your account. So it fills it in right there.
All right. So again, you want to have it a name that when you're pinning and you're following and you're going about town, making yourself known on the internet, and you're commenting on people and you're saying, hey, great job, that they know who you are to come back to your site. Okay. So because if you have your name of your site, The Marketing Animals, but my username was XYZ21, that doesn't tell anybody anything about your website. It doesn't tell anybody about your brand or whatever.
Nor does it draw them to click on your name to go to your boards.
Right. So make it interesting. Make it so that people want to click on that. Now, this about section, if you don't do anything else right, this is what you need to do right. And this is what we're going to be talking about on all of those boards that we looked at earlier when we were going through, like Kate Spade's and Whole Foods and things like that. This about me section is really, really important. Okay. So in this, you've got, about 200 characters or so that you can use. You want to put a little short thing about who you are, who you help, how you help them, and then a link in here of some kind. So if you've got a website or a blog or something like that, you want to link it here. Thing here you want to do is keywords. Okay. So if you know anything about SEO, keywords are a real big part of that. And this is a place that you can really start seeding some keywords. The title as well, when you put your name in there, what you name your site, those can be keywords as well.
Yep.
So make sure that you're really conscious of what you're putting in here and that you're using. This is like prime time real estate. So waterfront or Gulf front community, if you're a real estate agent or something like that, think in those terms. This is prime penthouse suite kind of stuff here. So you want to make sure that it's filled out well. And then you're going to upload an image. You want this image to be kick butt. Okay, it's got to be clear. You can either make it a logo or your picture, really, again, depending what your brand is. Nike and all, Chrysler, you saw they had their little Chrysler logo on there.
Visually pretty.
Yeah, it's got to be
attractive.
What people are going to be attracted to and know you when they see it. There's no shadow of a doubt when you see the Nike swoop that it's Nike.
Right.
Okay, and that's what you want to have too. Okay, so here's an example. This is Real Simple's page that we can go back to. So Real was the first name, Simple was the last name.
That's right.
Right underneath that, where it says Real Simple gives creative, practical, and inspiring solutions that make life easier, that's the about section.
Right.
Now they do have a little bit more space. They have more space on there. What I would have done differently with this is just add the link back to my website.
Exactly.
So I would have put, realsimple.com on here to link it back to my website. But oh my gosh, they've got 104,000 followers. So who am I to whine and complain? But that's a beautiful picture. Very colorful, very engaging, great colors. So that's what you're looking to do. A great picture, great name, great about me section. And this just kind of sums that up. So the importance of that profile, I cannot tell you enough, that it is laying the foundation for your online presence. You've got to do it nicely so that you're gaining trust from your audience. So be thorough, have a quality headshot or logo. Don't leave any of your fields out. Nice short description of your company. Add the links to your blog or your website. Use keywords. And for SEO, it'd be a good idea to use the name of your company or your website in your profile name as well. So again, think about your brand. Think about where you're going from here. Think about what you want to accomplish so that you get it all set up correctly in the beginning.
That's right. Here you where you create your login and password, and you can change it, and you're filling out your about me area. this where you can turn on and off your Facebook and your Twitter, and you can hide it. That's all going to be in the same area. So if you want to turn the Facebook off, you just switch it over to off. Same with Twitter. And that's how you do that. And you just click save profile. For any reason, if you ever want to get rid of your account, you can click delete account, which we don't suggest you do.
Right. So a reason that you would want to turn off your Facebook or Twitter, because when you sign up, your account has to be linked to either Facebook or Twitter. You don't have a choice at this point. It has to be. But what if you want to create multiple pages? So if you want to set up multiple accounts, they can't all be linked to your Facebook or Twitter. And I see a question coming in. Someone's asking here if you can link it to your fan page on Facebook. At this moment in time, as this recording, no, you cannot. It can only be linked to your personal Facebook account. Okay. So this is what you would have to do. You would have to go into your account and unlink it from your Facebook or your Twitter account. Then you're going to go up to the top where we talked about at the beginning, and you're going to invite yourself. So you can invite yourself using a different email. So every time you want to set up a new account for, if you have 5 businesses and you want to have 5 different pages going for all of those different businesses and you want to get them all set up, you can do that. You're going to need a separate email address for every account. And every single time you get one set up, then you go in and unlink yourself and then set the next one up. Go in and unlink yourself, set the next one up, and then you're just going to follow the directions that we just walked through. So it's the same all the way across the board. But the key is you have to unlink from Facebook or Twitter, and you have to use a new email address for each account that you want to set up. So we're going to pin some now. So show us what to do, Lauren.
All right, so this is in Google Chrome. It has a little bit different of a bookmark than we saw in the beginning. So I'm on a blog here and I see an article and I want to pin it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that pin it bookmark up in my browser.
I'm on my page. So this is the page I want. You can see over here, this right here. Right in here is the URL. And so this is the actual URL that I want to use to post this article. So now we're going to hit that pin it.
And it's going to bring up a selection of pictures that are all on the website. So all the pictures that are on the website that you can use for Pinterest are going to pop up here. You're going to want to click whatever picture you want to use as the front of your pin. Again, you definitely want to use something that is going to be visually attractive and goes along with what you're saying. After you select the picture, it's going to ask you where you want this pin to go, what pin board you want to put it on, and it'll ask you to put a description in. So you go ahead and put the description. If it's your blog or your website and it's just a picture, you definitely want to make sure that you put the URL in there. If you can put the URL in the description, it's a great thing because, again, it just shows them where it's going and it gives them another place to click to link back to your website or your blog or wherever you're taking them.
But if you're on someone else's site, you're going to write a really nice description. Hey, this is one of the best articles I've ever seen written about blah, blah.
Right.
And then, so make sure that your description is written very well here.
And we'll click pin it. And now you can see your pin. This is where your pin is. This is the wall. Everyone who's following you is seeing your pin that you just posted on here. Another way you can add a pin, not from the bookmark area, maybe you're on another computer and you don't have that bookmark handy in your browser. If you just click that add button in the top right, it allows you to add a pin, upload a pin, and create a board. So again, if you don't have that bookmark on your browser, all you have to do is click add a pin and you can put the URL to the link in there and it will just bring up the selection of those images and you would just go through the steps that you just went through before.
Perfect.
If you click upload a pin, this is where you would actually upload one of your own pins if you're creating your own pins. If you have your own picture that you want to link back to a website, you would click upload a pin. An area will come up where you can browse your computer, you can select the picture, it'll come up and you select the board you want to put it on and you put a description in there. Again, like I was saying, since it's your own pin, wherever you're going to link this picture, whatever website you're going to link it back to, put the link in the description as well, because again, it just gives them another area to see where this is going and another place to click on. Here's not where you link it, but we'll go ahead and show you that now. So when you're viewing your pin, all you have to do is hover your mouse over the pin and you'll go ahead and click edit. This will bring you to the area where you can edit anything about the pin. You can change the description, and in the link area, wherever you want that picture to go, is you'll put the URL in that link area right there. And again, you can change the board if you want to change, wherever you put the picture at.
So say you're a restaurant owner and you just made a new menu addition. You would take a picture, this beautiful picture of the plate of food that you had, and now you have that picture on your computer desktop. So you would upload that picture into Pinterest, and then you could link it back to either your restaurant's website or your restaurant's food blog that talks
Right.
about that and gives you the recipe. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Now, what's really tricky is what we did with this picture is this picture actually looks like it's a video, but it's
Mhm.
not. It's a picture that we jinged or we took a screen capture of
Of
so
the
that
video.
the actual picture looks like it's a video, but it's not. But we linked it to a video.
Right.
So when they click on it, it does take them to a video. But the picture that we used
And
was
entices them to, click that play button and take them to the video.
right.
This is also where you can create a new board. So again, we would just go to that ad up in the right-hand corner. We'll get these 3 selections, and you'll just click create a board.
So a board is your themes, the different
Right.
different themes that you're going to have across there.
Right. Name your board. Put a category in for your board. So if it has to do with food or people or travel and places, you would just pick the category. And you can also add in here another pinner to this board.
Which I love this feature
Right.
on here. Because if you're working with somebody, say, let's go back to the restaurant guy. Say I had a guest chef come in and help cook with me that day.
Mm-hmm.
I could give him his own themed board and allow him to come in and post on it whenever he wanted to.
Right.
So, but he doesn't have access to my whole board pinning on it.
Just
he
that
just
one.
has access to this one.
Exactly.
So this was a great way that you can add a circle of friends to be able to post their things on here, but not give them access to your full board.
Right. So to like any of your pins when you're going through your walls, again, if you just put your cursor over the pin, you can just click like, and it will allow you to like the pin. And to comment, again, just put your cursor over the pin, and all these buttons will come up, and the comment area or the comment button will come up, and you can just click comment and comment on the pin that you're seeing. Repin. If you click repin, this will come up. You can repin, or I guess it would be a share, like on Facebook. My style, you just put the pin on the pin board that you want it to go, and you can change the description that's already in there, or you can leave it and you'll click pin it.
So I'm playing on Facebook and I'm on your board and I come across something I really think is cool, which I did today. And I would just say, hey, I really like this. And I hover over your picture. I'm on your page. I hover over your picture and I say repin, and now it puts it on my board.
Right.
So
and you can select where it goes and what it says, and
so
save
you
it for
can
later.
see, guys, the power of referrals from this business. I think I read a stat that they have more referral business on Pinterest than they do on Facebook as far as referrals from repinning. So I mean that's huge, because Facebook is so much larger than Pinterest, but Pinterest has more business referrals on it.
Right. And I think a lot of it is it's so visually attractive. Everyone wants to be entertained and look at something that is appealing to the eye, and that's exactly what Pinterest is. When you repin something, or if something's repinned, a good thing about it is that it does tell you where they originally got the pin from. It entices them to click on the originator of the pin as well. So you can see where this pin originally came from, which I thought was cool because it's
so it's a great way for people to get the credit that's due them.
Exactly.
Number one. And two, someone says, oh gosh, I like this picture that she took. Maybe she's got some other cool stuff, and now they can go onto her board directly from here and see more stuff that she has. So it just gives you an opportunity to get your name out there more, because hopefully people are going to be repinning your stuff if it's cool enough.
Right.
So let's go over some ideas. I know people are wondering, okay, so you gave us a few ideas of what to pin here, but what are some great ideas of what we can actually pin? Okay, so go ahead and take a few of these, Lauren.
One of them is descriptive quotes and sayings. is a great one to put on here. So anything that inspires you and words of encouragement, that's always a great one. People love to read, stuff
People
like
love to
that.
feel good, don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very key motivator for the whole human race is that they want to feel good. They want to be happy. So when you can provide that happiness to them through an encouraging word or a motivational thing, I suggest that this is something that everybody without exception puts on their website.
I do too.
It's an inspirational section.
I do too.
How-to graphics are huge. Oh my gosh. This is like one of the best ways that you guys can really entice people to follow you or to want to get more information from you is creating an infographic or a how-to. So, back to the chef, you can say, the best chicken marsala recipe ever. And you take a picture of it and you leave off, you only take like half of it and you take it so that it goes halfway through the line of one of the ingredients and you post it and then you put a link to your blog on there. So for them to get the rest of the recipe, they have to click on your picture to get the rest of the recipe. I know, isn't that sneaky? But you can put how to have the most beautiful garden ever, how to this one over here on the left hand side, 20 reasons to switch to Google. They got 1 through 7 there, and now you have to click to get the other 13 reasons. So creating your own infographics, which is really easy to do using either Word or Publisher, or I love using PowerPoint to make those because PowerPoint lets you lay pictures on top of each other, and then you just jing or screen capture the photo and you make your own infographics. And what's great about it is when you upload your own original great content, you can link it wherever you want it to go.
Wherever. Yep. Another one's webinars. So any webinars that you're promoting or are being a part of, you can advertise those on here, and maybe even make a board out of them. That's always a good idea for pinning.
And helpful ideas. People like learning. They like knowing how to do different things. They like, just when you're helpful and you're giving them a hand, they're going to remember that. So any do-it-yourself things that you have in your specific industry or niche, if you've got some helpful things that will help them out, this is my second favorite besides the inspirational things.
Me too.
Helping people out.
Coupons, anybody around your town that, any small businesses, you guys can get together, put coupons on here, coupons for your businesses around your city, around your town.
Now, one of the things that we didn't talk about, and you kind of have to be careful with that, is that when you take someone else's picture, like say that 15% off, Banana Republic one, is when you take someone else's picture, if you click on it, once it's on your board, and click on it to edit it, you can put a redirect there on for your own link. So you can send them, wherever you want them to go. And I would suggest that you look into the rules and things like that of Pinterest. But some people put an affiliate link in there of their own so that they get the credit for selling that item there. So you definitely need to look into the rules because there are some, ways that you can do that and some ways that you can't. But that's another idea of how to use coupons.
Videos, how-to videos, do-it-yourself videos, strategy videos. Everyone, again, it's visually attractive. People like to be entertained, and video is a great way to do that.
Funny ones that you come across, hey, have a section of funny videos, but people love those viral videos.
Anything you find on YouTube.
That talking dog, I just love that one.
I know.
So you can have a section of videos and learning tutorials and just different sections, but video is king at the moment. It really gives people a chance to get to know you and feel like you're in their home with them and sitting there teaching them and that they're your new best friend. And products, you can definitely sell products on here as well. And when you're typing in your description of what the photo is, if you put the $ down and then you put a number behind it, Pinterest automatically puts that price up there in the little banner for you. You don't even have to do that. They'll do it for you. So again, you can have a link to your site. You have these shoes up there with the price on there. When they click on that, it takes them to your site where they can buy your product. So if you have, a dress shop, or you have a shoe shop, or you have products that you're selling, you can definitely link it back to your website where they can buy things from you.
And you would think that something with a price on there like that would take HTML, but Pinterest practically shoves it in your face and tells you to advertise that way.
Right. So here's some tips and stuff to make your board count. One is make sure you have very descriptive photos. So if you have a how-to or an infographic or something like that, you're trying to take what knowledge you have in your head and put it into a photograph. Beautiful photographs, those inspirational ones like the writing in the sky, things like that. So very beautiful, descriptive photos that are very high quality. Make sure that you tag your photos, number one, and two, that you always link them to something. Link them back to something that belongs to you. So one, you get those backlinks, and two, people when they click on it go to your website or they go to your blog or they go something
Right.
that belongs to you. You know, no use doing all this if you're not going to have it help you.
Exactly.
Okay, the infographics we talked about, giving those helpful ideas. People love to be helped. Include the price if you're selling something, and then you put your pin it thing everywhere. I mean, in that section where you get the pin it button is a place where you go into about on Pinterest. You're on your Pinterest page. It's about, and then there's a place called goodies. Under that little goodie section, you can get follow me on Pinterest. You can get, all kinds of things to do with Pinterest to use, and they give you the actual embed code that you can take and put on your blog and take and put in your emails and put on your website. So make sure that you've got your pin it button and your Pinterest follow me Pinterest button everywhere you can think of so that people know how to get a hold of you. And always, how often is that, Lauren?
Always.
Always, always, always have a call to action.
Oh,
now
without
a call
a doubt.
to action can be simply click here to get your free report. That's a call to action. You're asking them to do something. Always, 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 always have a call to action.
Always?
Always.
Okay.
So Lauren, what are some of the things that they can use when they're trying to develop this Pinterest? What are they using it to do?
You're using it for branding, driving traffic back to your websites, your blogs, or your social sites, SEO, search engine optimization, research, people who are following you, what are they interested in, how can you grab them and, attract them to you, see what's trending, and to provide value.
I mean, that's the basics of what you're doing any of your business for, is to provide value to people. And the way you do that is through letting them get to know you. And the only way they're going to get to know you is if you've got yourself branded.
Exactly.
So this is great because it does everything that you're looking to all in one spot. So some great practices are, and this is just common courtesy is to be nice,
Yeah, no negativity.
Yeah.
No one wants to read that or see it. And especially if Pinterest is visually attractive, negativity is not going to bring anybody close to following you and wanting to get to know you.
And if you're commenting on something that someone's posted, be nice there as well.
Right.
Hey, great post. Or, if you don't, that old adage that your mama said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. That applies here. Be nice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Give credit where credit is due. Don't take anything from anybody. Again, if you're going to repin something, do the repin. Don't take the site and, just go ahead and pin it. It's always good to give credit where credit is due.
Right. And don't make it about you. In fact, that's one of Pinterest's thing, is that they don't want you to be self-promoting all the time. Okay. You're trying to make this about other people and sharing and bringing value and bringing joy to other people. And you can't do that if it's always all about me, 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 me.
Right. And use original content as much as possible. Again, because when you do use original content as much as possible, it gives you more of an opportunity to link back to wherever you want them to go. Your site, your blog, your social networks, your videos. Original content is what allows you to do that.
Right. And again, making it visual. Whatever idea, whatever thought, whatever thing that you can come up with in your mind is taking it out of your mind and putting it basically on paper or on the screen. So that's what your photo has to be, is taking your information and making it as beautiful and visual as possible. So we're going to kind of wind up here a little bit, guys. I'm going to give you some great ideas for some pin boards that you can have, for category wise, some different categories that may not be offered on Pinterest that you may want to create your own. And then we're going to go over a lot of those next week as well. But again, I mean, a great one is your products. If you got any products that you're selling, that's what like Nordstrom does and all of those others where they have, women's clothing, men's clothing, shoes, housewares. So, if you got products, create little pin boards for each of those categories.
Exactly.
If you have a business partner that you work with and you want to give them their own pin board, you can do that as well. All about you and your brand and what you represent. So that's a great one.
Saving money. How can they save money? How to do things yourself instead of spending the dollar. I mean, things like that is what is huge on Pinterest. Anything to save someone a dollar. I mean,
that DIY, do it yourself.
Do it yourself, exactly. Yeah. And especially, and a lot of anything around your house or any tips that goes back to, again, making original pins and creating your own pictures. That way, you can link them back to wherever you want. But any little handy tricks that to save money, that can lead you into creating original pins and taking them to where you want them to go.
And YouTube is great for doing that because those pins, you can just do a short little video of yourself cooking something in the kitchen or doing something in your garden, or
right.
Just a little hint or tip that way. It only has to be a minute long. Put it up on YouTube and put it on your board and you're all set. You've got a quick little do it yourself that was your own.
Exactly.
So some other ideas are decorating,
recipes, travel, your favorite hobby. What else we got? Gardening.
We already talked about the DIY ideas, favorite restaurants. If you are not a business to consumer, a B2C, and those things wouldn't really apply. If you're in a business, like you're a social marketer and give ideas on how to help other people grow their business. So marketing ideas, best business practices. So there's a lot of different things that you can do in that arena as well. It doesn't just have to be fun stuff like my favorite
right.
wine and my favorite travel.
Right.
Okay, so on our next Pinterest class, we're going to be going over some strategies for Pinterest. And so these are going to be very specific and, driving down deep into how to create your brand, how to use keywords, how to identify your customers and what their habits are, because that kind of really depends on how you build your board as well. What is your purpose for being on Pinterest? Is your purpose just to connect with people? Are you an educator and that's all you're trying to get at? It's like, I want to get my message to the world and teach. Are you trying to sell something? So unless you know what's your purpose, you're not going to be able to build a good board.
Right.
Okay. What are your goals? Are your goals to increase your revenues? Are they to increase your sales? Are they to increase how many partners you have out there? Is it to increase your student base? So you have to know what your goals are and where you're headed to as well so that you can build your board correctly. And then we're going to go into all of those boards that we talked about earlier. So those 15 people that we took their boards and who's on there, and we're going to kind of critique each of their boards, what was good about it, what could they maybe improved on. Some great ways. One of the things that I love is that when you're doing Pinterest, what you're trying to do is you're trying to address the lifestyle that your product or your service would help your followers have. So, when someone's buying a new dress, they're not just buying a new dress, they're buying beautiful. I want to be beautiful. That's the lifestyle that they want. So that's what you need to think of. So I'm addressing a lifestyle. When you're posting a recipe, you're not just posting a recipe, you're addressing, I want to lose weight. I want to have something taste good. I want to appeal to my senses. So it's not always just about the product you have or the service you have. You're there to solve someone's problem. So when you can figure out the problem that you're solving and address that, that's what makes an amazing pin. So we're going to be talking about that, how to get your followers, and it's going to be a great class. So I hope that you guys got a lot out of this. Again, if you need an invite to Pinterest and you want it right away and don't want to wait to see if Pinterest is going to give you, just shoot us a quick email, Lauren, Lauren, at themarketinganimals.com, and she will get you an invite right out.
I will.
Yeah. And then if you have any other questions that you need help with, just shoot us a quick email at support@themarketinganimals.com, support@themarketinganimals.com, and we will get right back to you. So we appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for all the great questions and comments. We had a few more that we just couldn't get to today. So if we didn't address those through other things, just go ahead and shoot us a quick email and we'll get those answers right out to you. So we appreciate you being here and we look forward to seeing you on the web.
See you guys later.